about 6 months ago, 6, 7, 8 months ago or so, I told myself I was going to come to Italy. And I had originally thought I might come in March, maybe February or March. And I did not, because at that point I was still running. I was running from emotions. And so vacationing at that point wasn't going to be as fulfilling because I was really just trying to hide from the way that I felt. And so after I worked on and cleared out all of, there's still always going to be more, but the emotions and the reasons why I was running, then it really opened up the channel so that I was able to receive. And Eric, who is our captain, happened to send me a message, and he had an opening on his ship, on his boat, on the catamaran. He had a cabin available, and he asked me if I wanted the cabin. And then I was like, yes, I do. And it happened to be in June, which is my birthday. It's my birthday month. It's my divorce-iversary month. And it was and would have been my 27th wedding anniversary as well. And so I said yes. I actually did a muscle test on it, and it was a yes. So I was like, okay, game on. Here we go. So booked that, and that was about 5 weeks ago. And from there, I was like, okay, I'm going to go for 7 days sailing. I asked Mari, I sent her a message and asked if she wanted to come. And she had just got done saying her morning prayers. And she was like, I don't remember how she said it. I'm going to have to ask her. And so we can add that in. But she literally had just been praying. And it was like kind of an answer to her prayers. And it scared the crap out of her, because doing something so big is not what she's generally done. And so it was meant to be. So booked the trip, and then I decided, because it's the month of June and it was my birthday, I was going to celebrate the heck out of myself for the month of June. And so I'm going to go for the whole month. And so my trip originally was supposed to be like a 2-week trip, and then it was a 3-week trip, and then it was a 4-week trip. So I left June 5th, and I will go home July 6th, I think. So I'll be gone for a month, which is absolutely bananas, because I've never gone anywhere for that long, ever. It's going to be solo after we get off the boat. I'm going to be solo for the rest of the time. Mari will stay with me for 3 days, and then she will fly home, and I will be all by my lonesome in Italy. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know. I can flip this around. Oh, look, there's myself. There's myself. Hi. So I don't know. I don't know yet where I'm staying, and I'm gonna figure it out when I get there. I thought about, do I get like one Airbnb and I can just use that as my hub, and then I can go from there to all the different places. If I find one like centrally located, then I can go all the different places in the country. Or my original thought was, I really wanted to experience staying in different places and moving myself around. I just brought a really terrible bag for that. So I might have to find a different piece of luggage, because carrying around a 50-pound duffel on my back is a little intense. So if I can solve my luggage problem, then which I can solve my luggage problem. So when I solve my luggage problem, language matters, how you say it, what you say. I think I want to go maybe just a few nights in a place, and then go find another place, and then a few nights in that place and go find another place. And I think I just want to work my way around the country. That's what I'm really feeling. I don't really want to just stay in one place. Now, let me answer, because I've had people ask me, what were you running from? I was running from having to sit in my emotions. I was running from feeling like I was alone and I didn't have a choice. That was one thing I was running from for a while. That was probably the biggest one. And what I had to learn, let me get this way so you can get the beautiful view in the back. What I had to learn and work through was that I believed that if something was going to happen, that I had to make it happen all the time. I also believed that nobody had my back. Now, I have friends and I love my friends, but when it came down to it, If I were to fail, or my business were to fail, or anything like that, I don't have a spouse to back me up. You know, I don't have anyone supporting me, like financially, independent, which I know there's a lot of people out there that are in similar situations. And so I really had a little bit of, I don't know, I guess I would say just uncomfortable. You could call it anxiety. It's not really anxiety. I don't describe it for me as anxiety, but it could be labeled at that. But it was just uncomfortable because it's like if everything hits the fan and doesn't go right, nobody's here to catch me. It's literally what it was. Like nobody's here to catch me. I've got me. And I was quickly reminded that God's got me. That it's not about me just having me. It's that I have a partner. So even though I don't have a companion, I don't have a spouse, which one day I desire to have my most amazing companion. But for now, I'm developing that I've got me, but God's got me. And so there's nothing to be scared of or to be worried about. So even the journey of getting here financially was an entire story I will tell you um, soon. But the story of getting here, God had my back. And we go throughout life and we really believe that we're in it alone. We really do. I get emotional when I think about it. Um, we either at one point believe that the world is happening to us on like the lowest level. We believe that the world is happening, like things are happening to us, and we don't have choice and we don't have control. And so it feels very uncomfortable for people, and it feels very, you feel very out of control. And then you kind of graduate to the next level, and the next level is that the world is happening for you and things are happening for you. And so then you feel like, oh, you're looking for the blessings. That's when people say you're looking for the blessings inside of all the things that happen, right? So you're kind of trying to find that positive. Then you graduate to the next level, which I did quite a while ago. But that next level is things are happening by me. I think this is from Byron Katie, by the way, so we'll give him credit for that. But things are happening by me, or they have to happen by me. I was in things have to happen by me. Oh, you hear that? It's like vibrating. It's vibrating on my back. Anyway, so I was in that things have to happen by me space for a very long time. So I'm a hustler. I work hard. You know, financially, I had to make things happen. If anything was going to happen, I had to make it happen. And so I was stuck in this space where it had to happen. Everything had to happen by me. And what happens there, and the reason I was stuck there, I think, for so long is because I was also stuck in feeling like I was alone. I went from having 3 children at home and a spouse for 26 years. My kids all graduated, and my last child left the home the same time that I got divorced. So she graduated and moved out, went to college. And so I became empty nest and I became single both at the same time. Now, for me, and your story is going to be different, but I just want you to see like progression and how things can happen and how the emotions can happen around it. But for me, I'd never been by myself. I didn't move out of my home because I was engaged at 17 when I was in high school, and I was married the day after I turned 18, the month that I graduated high school. I wasn't pregnant. I didn't even have a child for 2 years. But I was always in a hurry. And so we kept moving up. You know, we were engaged, but we kept moving up. And I pushed that. I definitely pushed that. And I pushed it on my spouse to get married sooner. Because I'm like, oh, why just go to college? Why not just go be married and go to college? And so I pushed things to move very quickly. I'm going to get some views here for a second. We're getting up higher. Anyway, so I went straight from my parents' house and high school to being married. And then I was never alone. And then I had kids 2 years later, my first child 2 years later, and then I always had children with me. And so one of the hardest things for me was being alone. And people who have been alone, maybe you might have the opposite where you're used to being alone. So then the flip side is when you do find a companion or you do start to have kids, you might struggle because you're used to being alone and now you don't have all your alone time. Like, everybody has a different experience. This is just my experience. But what we have to do is recognize what's happening for us inside of our experience and how we're feeling about it and what's really going on for us. And so for me, because everybody had left, I really had this feeling of being alone. And while I like to be independent and I can do independent things, what started to happen was I feared being at my home alone. And I could leave and I could go on a vacation and I can feel empowered. But then when I came back home, I did start to have anxiety and some fear and sadness and grief. And I didn't want to be at home. It was not a place that I loved anymore. And so no matter what I did to my home, I curated it, I put new furniture in it, I repainted it, it became mine because I stayed in the same house. But even though I did that, I still couldn't get rid of the feeling. Well, because I kept running from it. Every time I would feel it, I literally would be home for 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks later, I would have to leave. Not have to, but I did. Like, I was so anxious to leave my home. I could stay home for a week and a half to 2 weeks, and then I would leave, and I would go on vacation for a week or two, and then I would come back. And what I realized is when I left my home, I felt like I was making a choice. When I stayed in my home, I felt like things were happening to me and I didn't have choice. And so that was a struggle that I had. So anyway, that's just a little bit that I'm going to share with you right now, and I'm going to flip this around so you can see we are coming in for a landing. This is absolutely freaking amazing. So here's the views from the top of the mountain. So beautiful. So beautiful. And we're going to get greeted and open my thingy and scoot out and get out. Grazie. Yes, we made it. Oh, okay. And here comes Eric. Here comes Eric. Yes. In for the landing. Oh, that was very smooth.